Be prepared. Nobody's truly ready for what's already in motion, and it's about to hit hard. The sun is about to enter Gemini, and whether you're ready or not, it's already begun tugging at the strings of your reality. This isn't just an astrological shift. This is a full-blown recalibration of how energy moves through thoughts, conversations, ideas, and people. You don't have to be a Gemini to feel it. No one escapes solar influence. Not now. If you're spiritually attuned, it's crucial for you to know what's about to take place. And if you're feeling this shift, feel free to comment what's been stirring in your mind. You can even include 144 to lock in the energy. Your words might be the exact thing someone else needs to see right now. And if you've been going through strange situations that seem chaotic or messy, keep watching. Because there's one surprising reason why things that look wrong right now might actually be exactly what you need. I will explain it later, so stick around. And speaking of strange details, what if I told you you're about to start seeing doubles? Gemini doesn't just change the mood, it bends the timeline. As the sun slips into this sign, you'll start noticing strange pairings, back-to-back events that feel connected, even if they shouldn't be. Two strangers saying the same sentence, two dreams with the same symbol, two texts at once from people who don't know each other, even a sudden case of déjà vu, followed by another one almost immediately. This is the Gemini effect. It's the universe folding in on itself just slightly, just enough for the edges to mirror. This is how Gemini speaks, in echoes, in puzzles, in pairs. Pay attention. That second encounter, that repeated number, that mirrored situation, it's not just coincidence, it's a message. This season, the universe isn't shouting, it's whispering in stereo. And what's coming next will make the echo feel like a warning. There are moments when clarity doesn't come from thinking or reflecting or searching. It just arrives, whole, sharp, and undeniable. As the sun moves into Gemini, we are entering one of those rare phases. You might be brushing your teeth, driving, or halfway through a sentence when, bam, you suddenly know something. About someone, about yourself, about a direction you're meant to take. And it won't feel like a guess or a theory. It will feel like truth that's always been there, waiting for the mind to catch up. Gemini is the sign of rapid thought, connection, and communication. But when the sun enters this air sign, the speed goes cosmic. This isn't about intellect anymore, it's about downloads, spiritual, mental, even physical. Ideas that feel too fast to write down, too big to fully explain, but too precise to doubt. People with no background in astrology or energy might start blurting out insights like oracles. Not vague vibes, specific knowledge, names, locations, dates. What someone's thinking before they say it. What's about to happen before it unfolds. Don't ignore those flashes. Even if they don't make sense in the moment, they're not here by accident. But here's the thing. Gemini doesn't wait. You won't get a second chance. If you don't write it down or speak it out, it may vanish as quickly as it came. This is a moment of genius-level clarity, but it's not permanent. Gemini is air. It flows. You either catch it on the wind or you don't. The idea that changes everything will not knock twice. When Gemini energy opens, it doesn't just talk, it delivers. And sometimes, the delivery looks nothing like what you expect. Mercury, Gemini's ruling planet, is known as the cosmic messenger. But this isn't just about texts from exes or calls from people you haven't heard from in months. This is about the non-verbal, the weird, the sideways synchronicities that feel like something or someone is trying to get your attention. A song comes on at the exact moment you're thinking something emotional. A receipt prints out with a number that hits you in the chest. You wake up remembering a dream that felt like a conversation you actually had. The universe is speaking, but it's whispering in symbols. This isn't paranoia, it's pattern. Gemini season cracks open the surface layer of reality and lets the hidden data come through. Expect to hear your name when no one's around. Expect to feel like someone is trying to say something through a stranger's voice. Pay attention to typos, slips of the tongue, misheard phrases. They're often more accurate than the real thing. The sun in Gemini turns everything into a channel. Conversations, numbers, timing, even silence, especially silence. And the most important messages? They won't shout. They'll brush up against your consciousness, subtle enough to miss if you're not paying attention. This is not the time to brush things off as coincidences. This is the time to lean in. Every whisper carries a code if you're willing to decode it. What you're feeling is not weakness. It's the power turning on. Right now, your body is doing something incredible, and most people don't even realize it. As the sun prepares to enter Gemini, there's an energetic quickening happening behind the scenes. It's subtle, it's strange, and for many of you, it's already started. You might notice it as a wave of dizziness that hits out of nowhere. That weird, hollow ringing in your ears that comes and goes with no explanation. Or that sudden buzzing in your palms, fingertips, or the top of your head. You're not malfunctioning, you're recalibrating. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, planet of the mind, the nerves, the connections. When the sun lights up this sign, it's like plugging your entire system into a higher voltage. And for those of you who are even slightly energetically sensitive, you will absolutely feel this. We're talking about the nervous system going into overdrive, not in panic, but in preparation. Your energy field is expanding fast. You're being asked to process more, sense more, and channel more than ever before. It's not just spiritual, it's electrical. The body, the mind, and the auric field are syncing to carry spiritual data at the speed of thought. And here's what they don't tell you. When more light starts flowing through the system, the body feels it first. And it doesn't always feel peaceful. The aches, the moments where you feel like time just skipped, these aren't malfunctions. They're upgrades in motion. You're not falling apart. You're falling into alignment at a frequency your body has never carried before. This shift isn't for the faint of heart. You may be more tired and more wired at the same time. You may feel overstimulated 1 minute and completely detached the next. You might need more water, more quiet, or more grounding time in your body. That's because your field is stretching, making room, not just for intuition, not just for downloads, but for a whole new level of intelligence, one that lives in your cells, not just your mind. And once it integrates, the way you walk into a room, the way you read energy, the way you manifest, it all changes. Permanently. The discomfort you're feeling, it's not resistance, it's activation. Truth is hiding in plain silence. Gemini is the sign of speech, of thought, of communication. But as its influence rises, don't expect people to suddenly become clearer. In fact, the opposite is likely to unfold. Have you noticed the chatter increasing? Messages flying in from all angles, conversations speeding up, people talking more, texting more, commenting more. But underneath it, a strange hollowness, a sense that something important is being left unsaid. This is the paradox of Gemini season. It's a flood of words with a drought of meaning. People will say a lot during this phase, but they won't say what they really mean. They'll dance around truth, deflect with humor, get halfway through a vulnerable sentence, and then switch topics. Don't be fooled by the volume. Listen for the gaps. It's not what they're saying, it's what they won't touch. In this time, clarity isn't found in words, it's found in the weight behind them, in the pauses, the hesitations, the half-deleted messages. Spiritually speaking, Gemini season teaches us the art of reading energy between the syllables. You'll notice people circling back to unfinished stories, avoiding certain topics like they're radioactive or giving answers that sound rehearsed. If you feel like someone's saying 80% of the truth, you're probably right. This isn't about deception, it's about overwhelm. The energetic speed of Gemini makes people speak before they process, and that can create a fog of half-truths and misdirected emotion. But if you tune in with the right awareness, you'll start catching the gold. A friend mentions a random detail that actually reveals exactly how they're feeling. A stranger's offhand comment echoes a question you've been secretly asking. It hits you like a message meant just for you. Because it is. Words are not the message. They're the wrapping paper. You have to feel what's inside. So if people seem like they're talking in circles, take a step back. Not every message will be spoken clearly, but all of them are being transmitted. And this week, the ones that matter most will not come out directly. You have to feel for the real. Because underneath the noise, the truth is humming. This isn't a waiting room. It's a moving train. Get on, or it leaves without you. The sun, stepping into Gemini, doesn't open a quiet doorway. It throws open a portal, full of motion, signals, and shifting paths. And if you're trying to stand still right now, you'll feel it as friction, restlessness, like the world is spinning faster and you're still staring at the map. Gemini is air, mental, mobile, mercurial. It doesn't reward stagnation. It thrives on movement, on questions, on following strange trails with no clear destination. So if you've been waiting for everything to make sense before you take the next step, you'll miss the entire point of this portal. This energy doesn't wait for clarity, it creates it through motion. This is the season where answers don't come from thinking harder. They come from doing something new, even something small, taking the long way home. Starting a conversation you didn't plan to have, picking up the book that randomly caught your eye. That urge to wander, to ask, to tweak just one thing in your routine. It's not aimless. It's divine instruction. Don't get trapped in overanalysis right now. That's a Gemini trap. It will make you circle your thoughts until they collapse into noise. The key is curiosity. Gemini's magic is not in certainty, it's in movement. In the choice to lean into the unknown before it's proven safe. This is when downloads come in mid-walk, insights drop while you're cleaning, or a casual chat sparks a brand new idea for your future. Your environment is now your oracle. Change the setting, and you change the message. And let this be very clear. If something feels stale, heavy, or like it's draining your spark right now, it's not your block. It's your cue to shift. Don't sit and wait for the signs. The itch to move is the sign. So keep moving. Not out of panic, but out of play. Gemini teaches through detours. Its messages are in the missteps, in the accidental encounters, in the thing you almost didn't do. This isn't a time to stay rigid and wait for the perfect path. This is a time to follow the threads that sparkle, even if they make no sense at first. Because during Gemini season, the wrong turn is often the one that opens the door you never knew you were looking for. You're not being inconsistent, you're being multidimensional. As the sun settles into Gemini, many people are about to experience something very real, but rarely talked about. A kind of spiritual double vision. Two realities running in parallel. Two ways of being, both alive inside you, and both strangely valid. You might notice you act one way in one space and a completely different way in another. Around some people, you're calm, observant, soft-spoken. Around others, you're electric, loud, opinionated. And both feel authentic. Both are real. You're not faking either. You're just holding two channels open at once. This is the Gemini effect, the sacred art of duality without guilt. We've been conditioned to think we have to pick a side, that we have to choose between quiet and bold, spiritual and logical, patient and driven. But Gemini's energy dissolves that old rulebook. It teaches us that contradiction is not failure. It's a feature of the human spirit when it's fully awake. You're not here to shrink into one version of yourself. You're here to become fluent in many. And here's where it gets wild. This duality won't just show up in you. It'll show up in your world. You may feel like you're living two different timelines. One foot in the past, one eye on a future that hasn't fully formed. You may start having opposing thoughts back to back like, I'm so ready for change, and I want everything to stay the same within the same hour. But none of that means you're lost. It means you're integrating. Because real evolution isn't about burning down one version of yourself to make room for another. It's about becoming wide enough to hold both. It's about being bold without losing your softness, being curious without losing your groundedness, speaking up while still knowing when to be silent. This phase will teach you to toggle, to shift gears based on energy, not ego, to trust that your duality is not a flaw, it's your compass. So if you feel like you're bouncing between two realities, two desires, or two versions of your own personality right now, good. You're not broken. You're becoming fluent in a new language of selfhood, one that doesn't ask you to choose a side. Spiritual mastery isn't becoming one thing. It's becoming everything you're meant to be without apology. Not everything needs to be a confession. Sometimes, truth just wants to breathe. Something unusual is already happening, and it's only going to intensify as the sun enters Gemini. People are starting to speak, but not in rehearsed, dramatic moments, in offhand comments, in casual conversations, in random, unguarded moments where the real truth just slips out. You might catch yourself revealing things you've never said out loud before, a spiritual experience you never told anyone about, a dream that felt too weird to explain, a memory that's been sitting quietly for years, and somehow, in a conversation you didn't plan, it just comes out. And strangely, it doesn't feel scary. It feels freeing. That's the Gemini effect. It's the only sign that can disarm your secrets not by prying, but by playing. Gemini doesn't make truth heavy. It makes it curious. It gently asks, hey, what if you said that thing you've been editing for years and nobody judged you for it? Gemini doesn't pull truth out of you. It invites it to stretch its legs. This isn't about shadow work. This isn't about excavating your trauma or dissecting your wounds. It's about revealing in real time with no script and no pressure. You'll say something and realize later, I never thought I'd say that out loud. And yet, there it is. And it's not just what you say, it's what others reveal too. You might hear someone casually say something wildly vulnerable, something synchronistic, something spiritual, and they'll keep talking like it was nothing. But you'll feel it. That moment of realness. This is the light side of Gemini that almost no one talks about. The side that isn't all chatter and chaos, but an unfiltered honesty that feels playful, not performative. Gemini lets the truth peek through the seams of everyday life. Not to shock, not to expose, but to connect. So don't be surprised if the most important things you hear this week come in the least serious tone. That's how Gemini moves, through curiosity, through little openings, through moments when your guard is down and your soul just speaks. Some truths aren't revealed through intensity. They're revealed when you finally stop trying to sound spiritual and just start being real. The mess isn't a mistake. It's momentum. Remember earlier when I said there's a reason the chaos in your life might actually be helping you? This is why. Gemini season doesn't bring order, it brings sparks, interrupted thoughts, colliding conversations, ideas that crash into better ones. It feels chaotic, but it's not random. You're not scattered, you're being rerouted. You're not forgetful, you're prioritizing what matters. This is cosmic motion, not confusion. It's fast, messy, alive. And if you stop trying to organize it, you'll see the real magic isn't in control, it's in permission. Let the storm move you. It's not breaking you, it's remaking you. When the sun moves, so does the story. On May 20th, the switch flips. The Gemini sun enters and everything accelerates. Conversations that were dragging suddenly click. Messages come in at the exact right moment. People you haven't thought of in years appear out of nowhere. You'll feel it in your chest, in your fingertips, a rush, a spark, a current. This is when the pace of the universe changes. You may wake up feeling more alert, more talkative, more curious. But it's deeper than that. You'll start noticing patterns forming where there used to be chaos. The right words will come. The right doors will crack open. The right connection will happen mid-scroll, mid-call, mid-thought. Gemini doesn't wait for permission. It shows up with momentum, and you either move with it or miss the moment. From May 20th forward, synchronicity is no longer a coincidence. It's a strategy. So don't brush off the weird encounters, the double messages, the sudden clarity. This isn't randomness. This is alignment, dressed in everyday clothes. Watch for signs, for signals, for moments that feel charged. That's the Gemini current, delivering exactly what your spirit ordered, right on time. And now, if you think it's been strange up to this point, just wait. There's still one more twist in this season's spiral, and it's coming fast. Get ready. You're going to need both eyes open. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.